Yes, brothers and sisters, we are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction on this BrBpTV. Big up on yourself for definitely tuning into this vibrations. And hopefully today I will drop in 3 reactions, brothers and sisters. The other one will be on the Mr. Leaks reaction, guys. And of course, hopefully I get to do another interaction on this channel, brothers and sisters. A live interaction reaction, brothers and sisters. Hopefully you guys get to tune into this around 7:30 tonight, brothers and sisters. Hopefully everything is rectified. And what have you, brothers and sisters, of course, we'll get to do that. And if not tonight, then tomorrow. But hopefully, most likely tonight, I'll be doing a reaction when I land and everything is fine and dandy, brothers and sisters. But of course, big up on yourself for definitely tuning into these vibrations. Tune into the next one on the Mr. Leaks reaction, guys. Don't forget, brothers and sisters, to do what? Click the like button. I would appreciate that. Click the thumbs up button. And of course, subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they tend to drop right there and then. Without further ado, brothers and sisters, Lofty is in the building. And of course, he's interviewing an individual that we very much know was very much passionate about this whole CALIBISHIE situation, and I think that's what I'm gonna be talking about right there, brothers and sisters. So let us get into the vibrations for today right there. I think you if the individual watching this video, if you're watching this video, I definitely saw the request, bro. I saw the request, but I didn't get any messages from you. So big up yourself, big up Lofty for definitely bringing this one out right there.
With yours truly. It's always a pleasure to have you guys in the viewing and listening audience. Just for, as it were, declaration purposes, I am in the cool and quiet of the Cochrane community, where I have a young man, I must say. You're seeing him in the frame now, smiling away. We're going to have a very interesting, a very candid discussion here this evening as it pertains to the economy of Dominica. This young man, you know, I've been speaking about an alternative, as it were. Sometimes we say that young persons don't come forward, or they choose not to come forward. But I can tell you, this brother in the frame here, Mr. Luke, he has some things that he wants to say to us.
Talk to us, man.
In terms of how our lives in Dominica can be improved. Much delay, let me just, say hi and hello. Brother Luke, good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon, Lofty, and good afternoon to all the viewers who have decided to join us. I think now is the time. Sometimes we, in our own efforts and life, we choose to be calm and humble and not express ourselves. But I think in light of recent events and the support and encouragement I have been getting, I think it's only fair that I share the plan that I feel that has been severely tarnished by the lack of support, especially from my representative. I would also like to take this time to state for the record that when I was speaking in CALIBISHIE and I said, and you, thank you for destroying my dreams. I was speaking to Raymond Blackmore, who was standing up directly behind the reason scared. That is why he turned around, because he realized.
Oh, I thought it was Scared. Okay.
I wasn't speaking to him because I was.
But Scared was the one who helped destroy your dream. I mean, they are in charge of the economy. So.
No longer looking in his eyes. And Mr. Blackmore was my representative. That's the only person I ever voted for. I voted once in 2010, 2009, 2010, and 2009. However, he was the only person I voted for, and I severely feel
that was a mistake.
He has done more harm than good to the Kingfield I was dreaming of. I would be living in 2024.
Oh, so that's what he's talking about. That it was Scared he was talking about. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I remember seeing you and hearing you quite articulately at CALIBISHIE, where you and some villagers stood up for you guys' rights in CALIBISHIE. But just before we go there, I know that may become part of the alternative economy discussion we want to have here with you this evening. Jordan, in terms of just a brief introduction of yourself, just who is Jordan Luke for those of persons who may not know? Who is Jordan Luke?
Jordan Luke, a lifelong learner. Somebody who learned to read at a very young age. I always get teased that my first phrase was adat. What is that? Because I always wanted to know. And I think there is a passage in the Bible that says, seek and ye shall find. And throughout my life, I have been searching for knowledge. And the knowledge that I have found when trying to find out how to best live my life, I guess it was revealed to me how to best assist others and how to lead and to motivate and to be an inspiration to others. So no, I think
kudos on that behalf.
They want to
let's see if we can get
laying on the platform as it was to just who is it, and that's why all what you said a while ago in terms of introducing yourself and your mission, as it were. Why now Jordan look?
Good question.
The man that has transitioned, as it were, from no longer a young person, but still right there, you know, getting up in age. Why have you chosen to take on that mission?
I think I've chosen to become more vocal about it, in the sense of now I'm actually speaking up about the efforts I have made, because I think back in 2014, I kind of began my journey into football, professional in terms of what we have, but getting my qualifications and being able to, you know, hold positions. And since then, what I have found is that the youth are enthusiastic, but the people who manage the youth are not. And there's a very pessimistic attitude towards sports and what sports can be, what sports should be. And I think all in all, it really letting them down. I think over the past few years, we have lost a lot of very, very good football talent.
True.
Pinball from Baffin State is one. The young man from Mahu is another one. And Rasio from Portsmouth. I'm not saying that they lost, but they should have been better. They should have been further along.
True.
I say over and over.
Kind of reminds me of Luan Gabriel as well. Because it seems like, you know, she went for the Olympics and she tried out or whatever. Maybe she came out 7th or last, whatever it is, brothers and sisters. But the fact that she made it there was a good accomplishment right there. But that was just it. There was nothing that came from it after all. And of course, I remember him saying about, you know, somebody, well, he talked about Black Monk. I guess it's Pat Rep or whoever that person was that ended up screwing up his dreams. And as a result of screwing up his dreams, he was not able to accomplish what he was meant to really fully fulfill. And I remember growing up with that mindset as well, brothers and sisters. I remember going into school and everybody was being taught, hey, we're going to make it big. We're going to be doing great things and what have you, brothers and sisters. And even going up to college as well, where we used to talk about where we're going to be and who's going to have millions of dollars and who's calling who and we're going to be flying all over the place and stuff like that. Very few of us actually made that happen, brothers and sisters. Very, very few of us. I can think of 3, brothers and sisters. Very few of us actually made that happen right there. The rest just went down the drain, brothers and sisters. And on the basis of that, brothers and sisters, even certain things, you would say, boy, you know, things I could have accomplished or things I could have gotten as a result of the talent and skill sets you possess. You know that these things would never come in your lifetime as a result of what the government has done. They have screwed up the players. They have screwed up the youth. And now he's talking about his experience of, you know, when he spoke about they destroyed his dream. You know, I say a number of persons can literally relate to what he's saying. They screwed up the youth dreams. No younger youth are growing up trying to. They don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know what they're doing. Most of the youth at present, they have the understanding that they want to leave Dominica. Yeah, that's the understanding, and I would encourage their parents to make them leave Dominica, because Dominica is not bouncing back up anytime soon. So it's better that your youth leave, make themselves overseas like the other Dominicans are tending to do. Make themselves overseas so that they can send funds back to you to help you. Because it doesn't make sense all you in Dominica and all you go in and nobody can help each other. Send them overseas to help it, to help themselves, help them how you can from Dominica. When they make it, then they'll be able to assist. That is the best way to do it. Outside of that, we're in trouble in Dominica, you know. But the government will say, hey, everything fine and dandy, and they will tell the ministers to tell everybody that everything is fine and dandy. And you've seen it for yourself that things aren't working.
Well, but I think
the increase in water soon, eh? We will talk about that in the Mr. X reaction, guys.
He should have been on an international stage winning trophies a long time ago, because he was supposed to inherit Minster Park 24 years ago when it was destroyed. So I mean, if you take the last 24 years into account, a lot of things could have happened.
Yep, I agree. So, 24 years.
I just want to start the conversation to spark the change that the next set of young people do not have to endure that young people that, I mean, Troy Jules just scored 4 goals in a 4th division match. Yes, it's the 4th division, but the brothers scored 4 goals. He's going to be playing in international competition for Dominica coming up soon. They're going to have scouts watching him. Maybe they see 1 or 2 other players that they like. Maybe we start the pathway where, you know, we find a way to start getting our players to semi-professional football, which is something that the former national team head coach and current head of coach education for Trinidad and Tobago said while he was there, and that is we need to get the players out. Just in terms of competition, we don't have the level. We don't play enough games. So
there's not enough practice. Even now, when I remember, was it probably like about a year ago, when I was asking the footballers, do they make money? Because I was hearing about, I think, yes, like about a year ago, brothers and sisters, I was asking some of the footballers, you know, where are the millions of dollars that FIFA and these people send? I see you guys have new uniforms and maybe shoes and stuff, but I don't think that equates to millions of dollars. Help me understand. Then I asked them, you know, so why are you playing this? One of them told me, Mr. Lex, the reason why you see in football is because we have a passion for football. We're not getting paid. We're not nothing of that sort. The only reason why you see in football in Benjamin's Park where people are playing against each other is because we have a love for the sport. If we didn't have a love for the sport, you would not see no football playing. Because some people only play because you pay them monies. That's why we only see in competitions, brothers and sisters. If you think there was incentives to help the footballers and the artists and the athletes out there, don't you think that would push them even further and further?
I think it's just a matter of wanting to see better. Long story short, I want to see better, and I'm no longer willing to wait for the people who have shown me they're not going to do it for me.
Sure. So you have decided to step it up, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, brother. Look, let's dive now a little deeper into the conversation we really want to have this evening about you as a young man seeing a way out in terms of an alternative economy for Dominica. Where exactly do you want to start with that conversation, brother?
Okay. In terms of start,
yeah,
I think sports has always been something that has been intrinsic to our Dominican culture. We have always had sportsmen, international athletes. I mean, we're gushing over Tia for now, and don't get me wrong, I am one of Tia's biggest fans. I have been a fan of Tia since before she was a top 10 international athlete. However, she still cannot come home in competition because she cannot train if she comes here. You know? So I think that taking that in itself has taken away a lot from what we could generate. Just look at tourism. Tia just want to an international meet. We could have maybe get the girls from Jamaica, maybe get the girl from the US. We could have a race here. Maybe the pole vaulter.
But then again, you know, we don't have the facilities for that. Just like we got the 2 games for Dominica World Cup cricket, brothers and sisters, International World Cup cricket. We got it, and the government screwed it up. Who else screwed it up, brothers and sisters? Who else? Tell me who else screwed it up? We've heard the Prime Minister saying, you know, that things can happen and hopefully we get a match or something. World Cup, the highest form of cricket. Brothers and sisters, we got 2 games and the government screwed it up. And you expect better to come? I mean, where's the logic in that?
From Europe. You can get a few athletes because now you have a world champion. Now we've put in together a relatively well-rounded international lineup. You're going to have tourism. I think we have always needed
Sports
to look at
tourism.
alternate options of getting into the country. If you have to travel for a team, then you look for alternate options. Well, actually, one alternate option is instead of going to the rest of the Western world, take the ferry, go to Guadeloupe and Martinique, and go to Europe. That might actually be cheaper for us to take a team to France and mark it in France and get people coming to Dominica for football, because football is a thing. If I'm born and I'm going to travel for it, I'm going to travel for it. If I like the place, I enjoy the place, I will come back. But that is just one way. So I think
that is one way, true, but not everybody fancies being on a boat for a few hours when they should just be able to take a plane to come straight. No, Dominica does not have the access to that. So I think what can be done, well, he's talking about sending people and then letting them come in. What can possibly be done is they go from Miami, they go from Florida, Dominica to Florida, Florida to that way. I think that is one way. Obviously, he's talking about Guadeloupe because Guadeloupe is very close. But on the basis of flight, I think flight from Florida to Dominica versus Guadeloupe on boat to Dominica, I think might either be the same or it might be a little faster. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys?
we already have the opportunity for it. It's already there. It's just a matter of developing it, making it better. I would consider it like the baths in Virgin Gorda, where if left in the natural state, like when I went there, and that was back in 2004, 2005, if it was left in the natural state, people would never be able to travel and get through the baths as easily and completely as with a little modification. A rope bridge, a wooden bridge, a place to hold, so you can pass over. Simple things. It doesn't have to be a big modification, but a simple modification can mean a lot of difference for the actual operation. So I think number one, we already have the history of developing sports into a business. In terms of what direction the development would start with, it would start with football. And it's not because I'm a football person or I'm a football coach or I think football is the best sport. It's because financially, football is the most viable. I think if we have to look at the record of COVID-19, football was the one entity worldwide that stopped for the shortest period of time. And
well, worldwide, I think cricket is higher than football. I think the number one is hockey, if I'm not mistaken. Hockey and then cricket. You guys can Google the most popular sports. Let me Google it. Yeah, field hockey, tennis, volleyball, blah blah. What? No, that's American. Football then cricket. Okay, so it's not hockey. Okay, so it's football then cricket then hockey. So he's right in that regard, right there.
While a lot of other entities have to start and stop at the highest level, football just continues. So I think again, we don't have players at the highest level. So we don't have agents making 20% of a salary. We don't have advertisers and marketers who generate revenue from the use of the images of said players. So we have a big chunk of the pie we just do not see.
Yep.
So that is weird.
I remember when they hit me up for me to record some of the footballers in the stadium, because they wanted to, they were doing their drills and everything. I had to record them and everything like that, put a portfolio and whatever for them, and then send it to each, well, not send it to whoever organized for me to do that. So I think that is a very interesting way to do it, but there's hardly any portfolios out there. When you're doing sports, you have to have a portfolio. It's not just saying, oh, let me play and then bow. Especially people looking for you, they want to see your score sheet, they want to see your, they want to see your repertoire. But, sometimes, in Dominica, it can be a bit interesting.
We would take football.
Okay, sure. In terms of what you said, right? How do you see what you are exposing here this afternoon will be sort of an inspiration or motivation to?
Yeah, because one thing is to talk about it, but there's another thing to put it into action. It's another thing to put it into action to get the right set of people to help put it into action, and another thing to find the resources that is needed to help put the things into action. So, well, yes, what he's saying, it makes sense, but hopefully you can answer this right there.
Especially the young people.
Well, what I want them to see is one, sometimes you just have to be brave. Sometimes you have to be willing to step on. And even if in your mind you may be nervous, you may be a little bit unsure of yourself, you maybe know people go and say, oh, Mr. Zamaji, Mr. What are you talking about? Mr. just running his mouth, Mr. just looking for shine. All that is fine.
So you're saying have self-confidence. I guess when the coaches and people come, have some self-confidence, which makes sense, because I remember in my own, while I was doing videography, a number of persons used to laugh at me, checking, what is nonsense I doing? And then the president of the United States picked me up. So you just have to have, confidence in what you do, and not just say, oh, I'm good at this, but constantly grow and elevate.
Because at the end of the day, I have seen in my past employments and endeavors, sometimes the efforts I made just because I had a feeling that this is what I should do led to a better life for a lot of people.
You have to do. But these are the questions I asked before. How does doing help if there's not resources and this kind of things there?
I think number one, garage band here, just in business. Not in the sense of the content, but in the sense of the career. Having something to motivate you, to push you along, something you can do that pays you otherwise. I mean, sometimes
that makes sense, but how is it possible? How is it possible? A number of things that need to be done is advertisements. Advertisements then need to bring profits for the businesses. But how is this gonna be turning into a career unless they leave? And I think that's probably what you're pointing out to, where they go to Guadeloupe and then they fly to France or wherever. Hopefully they don't ban us, because of the, but they fly there and they play a number of places and people get to see them and maybe hire them and this kind of things there. I think that's probably what he's talking about. You have to leave the country. I think that would make sense right there. Because even if you're Dominican, you're doing these things, it's not gonna work out for you.
And when the fellas go on their trips and they make their comments, everybody might not be pleased. But again, from being the bartender that used to create the vibe that them fellas take, that becomes something where I had an experience over the carnival. When someone from St. Croix came to garage, got his own opener and started ringing the bell, peeling. That is marketing. That is tourism. That is an attraction. That person left wherever they were and they came to Dominica. Yes, they're coming for carnival, but I have to come to that site. That is a fingerprint. Nobody can ever take that away from the people who were involved in that.
It makes sense to leave.
So I want to create another something to that extent where, maybe I just start the trend. It seems like I have a knack for starting it. So I just want to start it. It doesn't have to be my idea. It doesn't have to be my plan. It doesn't even have to be sports. But at least people can feel motivated to sit down and work towards something, even if it takes, for me now, I'm in 10th year of my plan. So it hasn't been a short journey. And it's only now I'm actually willing to be ready to share intimate details of the plan.
Jordan, you're speaking there, and you said you have a knack for starting things. And that is one of the good characteristics, I must say, about leaders, but not just ordinary leaders, visionary leaders. And so when I hear you speak, when I see you out in action, I see somebody that has that potential to inspire, to motivate people. And so right there, you are showing that sort of visionary leadership.
I agree. He's a motivational speaker and whatever, brothers and sisters. I agree. But my big question here is how? How is this gonna happen? You say this is okay, nice, all right, great. You say this, or you say that, okay, great. How? How can we make this happen? Maybe he doesn't want to say how because he don't want other people to take his idea. But it seems like he said it doesn't have to be his own, so it seems like he doesn't mind. So the question here I would ask is, how are you planning to make this thing happen? Especially in a place where people sometimes even look at the basketballers who went. Well, some of them they got a minor sponsorships and whatnot. Maybe I guess the government can come in and sponsor as a result of the CBI program or what is left from the CBI program. But apparently the government say it's not for Dominicans. The money is not for Dominicans. Apparently it's for development and what have you in that regard. But I think maybe some of that monies could go and help in that regard or businesses. But then again, if you're looking at businesses, how on earth are we expecting the businesses that are suffering to then sponsor people to go out there? Businesses can hardly pay for advertising. So that self is another struggle in that regard right there. So how is it going to happen?
Once it is harnessed properly, directed in the right direction, then you never know.
How?
Correct. And I think that is one of the lessons that I have been taught over the past few months.
I'm not getting the whole factor, man.
Will act your own judge. You cannot be the judge of your outcome. I have to be the monitor of my reality, my day-to-day.
True.
But after my reality moves and the reality becomes the past, out of my control, because I cannot determine how people react to things I say and to things I do. As much as I appreciate the way, for example, how people responded to the way I spoke to the Prime Minister. I was nervous, just because it was the first time I'd ever really been a person of interest, in the sense of I get to the field and everybody looking at me dead in my eyes, the officers, the ministers, the PS, everybody that was there is okay, people do their research, that is that one, okay, that one there, okay, that one. So I really decided and it was on that moment I chose to speak how I spoke after getting there. So I didn't really write it down. I like to plan before I speak. I like to just speak in the moment, especially I just stay with my friend. We cannot deny the fact that since 2018, when FIFA decided that the World Cup was going to America and not to Morocco, a World Cup that the then Minister of Foreign Affairs, Francine Barnes, wanted to go to Morocco, there was an article where she held up a World Cup bid and she was saying that Dominica pledges to go for Morocco. It made 3 American headlines because we just put Patrick on for them type of corruption. You understand? So for me, even in that, it just showed how out of touch they were. And then if you look at it, our fields have not been rehabilitated. They have been. I'm
not gonna lie, the ministers and the people who are in charge of doing different things, especially in the sector he's talking about, they are incompetent. We have a lot of people who are in positions who are incompetent. Just like I look at certain ministers of health across the world, they are obese. How can obese people talk about how can they be in charge of health? Huh? How? They obese, they're out of shape. Make it make sense, brothers and sisters. Would you put an obese person to go and represent you to run track? Huh? Running 100 meters? No. Why are you doing that for ministerial capacities? We are putting people in positions they should not be. And we expect outcomes, great outcomes. Brothers and sisters, this is why I always say that what is happening in Dominica has to be intentional. Because you can't tell me what is going on cannot be intentional. That cannot be a mistake. It cannot. You're moving people who are in their field to put them in other fields, and then bringing people who are in other fields to put them in a field that they have no inclination in. And we expect a positive outcome in that. How? Make it make sense to me. So when you're talking about people, these people apparently don't know what they're talking about. Yes, that is correct. They usually do not know what they're talking about. And you expect to have some sort of positive outcome in that regard. Brothers and sisters, I'll never forget Luan. I remember Nabi was our best trainer, under Nabi. Luan was doing great, flawless. Even when Nabi went overseas and he was training there's younger ones, and they were doing well too. Even in that basis, they removed because they wanted somebody else to come in. Even she was crying about the whole situation. And we expect to have good outcomes, man.
No support from the government for sports. Like, people can say, like, yes, they may be doing a thing and they try, and you know it's not the time to try.
They're not trying at all. It's like intent to treat. You say, okay, we'll put this there. We'll put this there for you, and you run with it. Then you come and look for it, it's not there. You come and tell them, yeah, man, we'll put that there. It's just taking time for us to do it, but we'll do it. Taking time has passed, and it's still not there. They're making you believe that something is coming, giving you hope, and it never reaches. When you go back to talk to them, yeah, man, we're working on that. Next week, that'll be there. You come next week, it's not there. Oh, we had a shortcoming, all those kind of things there. So they keep pushing the envelope back on until you realize 5 years pass. Till election comes and they put in for you guys will be doing this. The very thing you are hoping for the past 5 years, they come back and tell you, hey guys, we'll be doing this. As soon as our election reach, we're going to be doing that for you. You get the hope again. Oh my God, they're finally going to be doing it. We've been waiting for this for so long. So you're voting for them. And then they come back in power. And it's a whole Nancy story yet again. This has been the culture of Dominica. This is what has happened. Every time. Just giving them hope, and nothing happening, or giving them little dregs. Brothers and sisters, what is happening in Dominica? There is literally nothing being put in place to actually develop the people. Nothing at all. They might make little things here and there, brothers and sisters, that don't really, it's for entertainment. Oh, let us make this for them to come and jump up. Let us make this for them to come and bowl and this kind of things. There was nothing to really help them. Let's put factories in place and let's try to find markets overseas and let's bring the people together. Train them to learn new skills and create ideas and this kind. None of that happening. Absolutely nothing of that sort is happening in Dominica. This is why I keep asking, how are you going to make this happen? I keep searching for that answer. I'm not getting it.
A World Cup coming to our area. Look, we play in Jamaica, right? We're not supposed to be hoping to put on a good game. We're supposed to put on a good game. Making Dominica more attractive.
Practicing and training and all these things is necessary, but you need the right resources and the right set of people to do these things. If you don't have these things, no matter how much you talk about these things and say, oh, we need this and this, that, and it doesn't come, it wouldn't make a difference.
We won't have any draws going on for the World Cup.
And then people will end up being, when you're 13, 14 years, say, oh, you're coming in to try things and nothing really happened because you don't have the resources. Then you find yourself 30 years, brothers and sisters, trying your best to see if you can make things happen. That is what has happened to the youth of Dominica. You know that? You do know that, right?
5 matches, right? When they spoke about Dominica, you know what they said? In Nature Island in Caribbean. They use our Discover Dominica Monica. So right away, Discover Dominica get free, 100% free advertising. Because when you go and you search Dominica using the words that the presenter use, you're going to find out advertising.
Discover Dominica doesn't even know how to advertise. I'm not gonna lie to you. They don't know how to advertise. I don't know if the people I don't know. I really don't know. From my understanding of advertising, brothers and sisters, I see Antigua them doing a great job. I see Send Kids doing a great job. I see them looking at specific areas where they know certain people might be interested and they putting it out there. I don't see none of that happening in Dominica. None of that. The only thing I know they make any reference to was when American Airlines, not as these people that just come back and forth to Dominica. I think it's American Airlines. I think so. I forget who are doing daily flights. But I think it's American Airlines, brothers and sisters. And American Airlines put that on their platform in Miami. They put that as the plane that did that, not Dominica, brothers and sisters. The plane, they collaborated with Dominica, obviously, but they are the ones who initiated that whole thing. It's not Dominica that initiated that. You think if Dominica initiated that, how on earth would it work? It wouldn't work because these people are not competent in their stuff. Not competent at all. Brothers and sisters. I would say something about leave it there. I would leave it there.
Package. But then, when last discover Dominica contribute to the sports budget? When last we get some passport money? Because we are the ones who represent the flag. We are the ones who represent the passport. Yet, how much of the sales are allocated to us? And I think Albert Tip of the Sports Vibes made a very poignant and relevant comment, saying that sports need a passport agent. There needs to be someone who is generating funds for the athletes.
So that is one way I'm guessing he's thinking about doing it, through the CBI program. I actually really mentioned that earlier on. That would make sense if they put some money from the CBI there. And he's mentioned it right there. That is one way. But the question is, will it happen? Especially when we hear in our ministers or people are in positions saying, oh, all the monies came to Dominica already. And the monies that apparently overseas for development. Development of what? We have no idea. Brothers and sisters, we have Minister of Investment. Investing where in Dominica? That is what I want to know. Or a Minister of Investment overseas? Is that what it is? Minister of Investment for overseas or not in Dominica? Usually when you have ministers for Dominica, not for ministers overseas, no? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. What a Minister of Investment doing in Dominica? Investing in business? Maybe I don't understand the whole gist. You guys can help me out. Let me understand that in the comment box below. But yes, you need money for sports, which is interesting because FIFA gave a few $1 million to Dominica for football or for sports generally, whichever it is. What has happened to that? I see some people with some clothes, uniform clothes and football shoes. Really?
So the things and the plans that we promised can actually happen.
Jordan, I don't want us to sort of dwell on the past or dwell on the negative, because that is the modus operandi in Dominica.
True.
What I really want that conversation to do, or where I want it to go, or where I would like it to go, or rather, is in a more optimistic, forward-looking direction, so that after that discussion with you,
yes,
at least one or two young persons out there in particular, even some of them elderly folks, they may have that sort of, they may be inspired, they may be motivated to say, something, there's more that could be done. There's more that, especially in the field of sports where we zero in on now. So it is all well and good for us to dwell in the past, talk about the negatives, but I think much more optimistic conversations in the future.
Okay.
But having said that, though, before we go there, you touch on the situation of some of the sporting facilities in Dominica. This afternoon, I was passing on High Street because they cordon off the Victoria Street to have Parliament, and so vehicular traffic have no choice but to pass through High Street. And here was I passing High Street, and there is this abandoned tennis court. Literally, the court is abandoned. A whole lot of rubbish on the area, on the periphery of
brothers and sisters, isn't that what they're building in Portsmouth, in the park, a tennis court? So don't you think the same thing might happen, brothers? This is why I tell you guys, they are building things that the people are not, that's not necessary for the people. You're building things that people want, not need. Or they might not even want, but you think they want it, so you're giving it to them. Oh, we don't have a tennis court in Portsmouth, but let's see if we can make a tennis court. Great, it sounds nice, but is that what the people need? No. Just like them people pushing anti-man business, is that what Dominica need? Absolutely not. But they're pushing it now. They are pushing things that we do not need, brothers and sisters. I was hearing people talk about the roads and fixing roads and this kind of things. Yes, I agree, we need to fix the roads. But hey, let us build factories first now. And if you have to really organize roads, let us look at the feeder roads, my goodness. I rather those main roads have holes like crazy. And we have feeder roads that's heading to agriculture, or agricultural fields and this kind of places there, where you can find produce that can be created and then export it to bring in funds. Making road nice, don't get me wrong, but I think it's better if you have an agricultural surplus coming into the country. And when the surplus is coming into the country, we can then build the roads. The burden of elevation for the people should not be a direct result where the people are suffering as a result of it. It should not be. For example, they are bringing up the water prices, brothers and sisters. They're bringing up the water prices. They bring up gas prices. Bus drivers have complained. Oh Lord, brothers and sisters, I will leave that there. The link of that will be in the description below, guys. Check this out right there. I have to do the other one, so I'm gonna stop it right there. Let me know your thoughts in this regard. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below, guys, because I find this very, you know, it's I don't know. Hopefully you can find the rest of what he's saying on that regard. Like I said before, click the link in the description below so you can get the full video. Right, it's about mistakes on this here BrBpTV, guys. Hopefully I can do another video, the live interaction later on today, and of course definitely look out for the mistakes reacts channel video for today as well. So by mistakes, once again, guys, be real. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. Click the like button, and of course subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they tend to come. So by mistakes, once again, guys, be real, be positive.